One day, you're going to look around and you're going to realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you. And that is the loneliest feeling in the world.
I admit it, another hoe got me finished. Broke my heart, oh no you didn't.
Okay, good morning everyone. Well, it's morning for you guys. Currently it's 8:03 at night for me. Thought I'd make a video tonight just to make sure I don't have to do anything tomorrow. I can work on note sheets for Wednesday, which, good question what I'm doing then. Anyways, we're continuing our schedule of, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We will be doing team off season. This is our 9th so far, so we've done about a quarter of the league. So, we still have a ton to go, and the Edmonton Oilers are really just the team in the middle. So, I'm not going in a particular order, by the way. So if you're expecting Florida to be next, you're wrong. I think I'm gonna do either the Devils or the Sabres next. I'm not sure. Probably the Devils. And it depends on what happens with my family, because someone that I've been around a lot may have tested positive for COVID. I'm not exactly sure yet. So I could be here for longer than you guys think. So take it with what you will. But anyways. Today we're going to talk about the Edmonton Oilers, and if they can finally get over the hump. They've been in this hump where, they made the playoffs in 2017. They made it to the second round. They're kind of giving me some Carolina vibes, in all honesty. They're a team that goes past the first round, then misses in the playoffs for years, and then, this year they lost in the play round to Chicago. I don't know whether you consider that playoffs or not. Some people do, some people don't. I think that's a discussion for another day. Anyways. Who have they acquired in the offseason? Now, they really haven't gotten too much. They acquired Kyle Turris. Kyle Turris, that solid third-line guy, third-line center who can play minutes. Nugent Hopkins was really going to be in there for a bit. He was likely going to move to the center role, but now I doubt that since Kyle Turris is now on the team. And who I also wrote down was Jesse Puljujarvi. I wrote down Jesse Puljujarvi as well because it's looking like Puljujarvi will come back. Now, Puljujarvi signed a 2-year contract with the Edmonton Oilers, towards the beginning of free agency, I think, and I mean it's all right. Puljujarvi, he's coming back. I mean he's obviously coming back because he wouldn't have signed a contract if he wasn't coming back. But with him returning, it's huge for Edmonton because Puljujarvi was really put up those points, and and the funny thing is, of course he's coming back when they start winning. Isn't that ironic? Of course he comes back right when they start winning. I mean, who wouldn't want to come back? I think this Edmonton team, though, is going to do very well next season. Now, here's the big problem. I have Oscar Klefbom written on here as a lost asset because they're likely going to lose him. He's injured. Ken Holland has not put him on LTIR. Not yet, at least. I don't think he will, in all honesty. I think Klefbom may be back for the beginning of next season. It depends on if we even have a season or not. Which, I have heard reports that we could have an announcement of that likely in the next 7 to 10 days. Well, now it's 6 to 9 because that was yesterday. And, I'm pretty excited to see if we're going to have a season or if we're not going to have a season. It's a really curious question right now. So, they lost Klefbom, but they brought in someone that can maybe help. And it wasn't the best choice on the market, but, they could have gotten this. They got Tyson Barrie. They acquired Tyson Barrie in the offseason from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's a good sign. I think Tyson Barrie will help out this Edmonton Oilers defense, which really needs a lot of help besides Klefbom and Bear. In all honesty, I forgot about Ethan Bear in a lot of Edmonton Oilers talks that I've made. So, if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, he's not necessarily the thing that will replace Klefbom in, fulfill everything that Klefbom has, but I think he will fill in that good spot until Klefbom returns. And that's the one thing that Edmonton really wants to try to do. Because if you lose Klefbom, that defensive core gets punctured severely. Alright, so here's the one thing that I'm worried about. I'm not exactly worried about the defense much. I think Barrie can get the job done. Not necessarily entirely, but I think there's Ethan Bear and still the other guys on the team. I think that the Edmonton Oilers defense is fine. The goaltending is really what I'm worried about. Can Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen work in a solid tandem again? Now, in the offseason, there were rumors of them going out and getting Markstrom. They lost out on Markstrom to Calgary. They also lost out on They also missed out on Braden Holtby. So they didn't get the goaltender they wanted. And they were forced to re-sign Mike Smith because there really wasn't a lot of good options out there. In all honesty, there really wasn't any good options out there besides Mike Smith. I mean, there was Ryan Miller and Craig Anderson, but no. And Cam Talbot they lost to Minnesota. So they had really no choice but to re-sign Mike Smith to another 1-year contract. Smith was patchy at times, and we know how Koskinen is. I don't know if these two players are going to exactly put up the numbers that everyone thinks they will. I think that Koskinen will play well. I think that Koskinen played pretty well in the games that I watched this season for the Oilers. And Mike Smith is going to play as that backup role likely. I think that Koskinen may take up that starter role, but I don't know. Mike Smith may play starter for a part of that season. I'm not exactly sure. We don't even know, to be honest. So I think they may even split the games evenly, in all honesty. I'm confused when it comes to the goaltender at Edmonton. That's the one thing I'm worried about. Apart from that, the offense is fine. McDavid, Draisaitl, you got all those guys on your team. It's perfect. I think Edmonton is going to do very well next season if they can get themselves over the hump of making the playoffs. So, and to be honest with you, if they don't make the playoffs in the next few years, if they don't make the playoffs next year, and maybe if they don't even make the playoffs after that, it might even happen before the season after next season. McDavid, maybe thinking, I don't know if I want to stay on a team that can't make the playoffs. I want to win a cup. I don't know if I want to stay here anymore. And that's kind of the thing that Puljujärvi had. That's the confusing part. So we're gonna see what happens with that. I don't think McDavid will leave anyways. Even he has said he's frustrated with losing. So is Jack Eichel. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, so there you go. That is the Edmonton Oilers 2020 offseason recap. We're going to see what happens in 2020-21. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I'm very excited to watch the Edmonton Oilers. I really, as an East Coast kid like myself living in Pennsylvania, I really haven't seen Connor McDavid at all. I saw him play like maybe twice a year against the Flyers. I never really get to see Connor McDavid that much in the league because, he lives on the West Coast. Well, his team's on the West Coast, and a lot of their games are late at night. So, it's really confusing when it comes to that, living in the East Coast like myself. So, I can't wait to see McDavid more as I'm gonna start reviewing games. So yeah, we're gonna hopefully try and do that this season. Review as many games as literally possible. So yeah. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, do make sure to like and subscribe button. Another good news, I got huge posters. I have huge poster boards now, so I can make madness boards. Yes, I just copied the hockey guy, but I love the hockey guy. It's basically my childhood idol. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.